Hi boys and girls, today is activity 1 for lesson 22. We are learning about changing the final Y to an I on words this week that are made into, when the base word is made into a plural word. So I'm going to write some words on the top of my board. The first one is cried. Then I have flies and babies. Okay. I want you to look at each one of these words. So I'm going to say it and then you say it. Cried, flies, babies. Now if you notice, each one of these words ends in an IED, IES, IES. So I want you to look, I'm going to write the base word below each word. So the base word for cried is cry. The base word for flies is fly. And the base word for babies is baby. So if we look at each one of those words, what do we notice? They all end in what? If you said a Y, you're exactly right. Well, to go from cry to cries or cried, we have to change the Y to an I and then add the ending, either ED or ES. Change the Y to an I, add ES. Change the Y to an I, add ES. Okay? So that's what we're going to be working on this week with our spelling words. So the first word that we're going to talk about is the word city. When city is made plural, it becomes cities. So I want you to write cities on your, and I'm just going to draw a line under these. Not going to do any kind of columns. I want you to write the word cities on your desk with your expo marker. Think about how you write city and then how you would change it. You drop the Y and add IES. Change the Y to an I, add ES. Okay, and kind of get that stuck in your head. Change the Y to an I, add ES. Change the Y to an I, add ES. So we have city. So the plural, cities, which is your spelling word, this one, I change the Y to an I, and then I add ES. Okay, so cities is CITIES. Okay, next one is cried. So I want you to write cried on your desk. So think about how you write cry, and then change that Y to an I, and then add ED. Okay, so on all of these words, let me look real quick. I think we're adding ED or ES to every word. Okay, so cried. Okay, CRIED, cried. Change the Y to an I, add ED. Okay, next one that I want you to write, puppies, puppies. So think about the word puppy and then change it to puppies. So I'm writing the base word each time so you can see the difference, but I want you to write the word puppies. Okay, let's check your work. So here's puppy. So I change the Y to an I, add ES. Make sure puppy should have two P's, double P. Okay, when it ends in a consonant, you double it. Okay, next word, hurried. Hurried. I hurried to my mom's house. So the base word is hurry. Then we change the Y to an I and add ED. Hurried. So here's hurry, the base word. The spelling word is hurried. Change the Y to an I and add ED. So remember, if you need to, if you're forgetting, you could write ES like this and ED at the top of your desk to help you remember. Every word's going to either end in an ES or ED once you change that Y to an I. Okay, the next word is stories. Stories. I like to read funny stories. So again, I'm going to write the base word story. Then I'm going to change that Y to an I and add ES. Okay, so we end up with, we go from story to stories. Change the Y to an I, add ES. Okay, next word. If you do 5 words, you may stop there if you only do 5 words. Let's talk about your worksheet real quick. Okay, spelling word sort is what you're going to do today. It's pretty simple. You're just sorting the words by if they end in an ES or ED. So cities would go on the ES side. Cried would go on the ED side. Very simple. Then down at the bottom, suppose you were asked to add a column for the review words. What would you name the heading for that column? So if I go look at the review words, what do they end in? Y. So we could say end with Y, or 2 syllables. That could be a heading, pretty and very. So think of a heading for that if you were to make up your own. Secret message today, Mrs. L loves the beach. So I want you to write that underneath the box. Start right above the word review and put Mrs. M-R-S period L loves the beach. Exclamation point. How about that? Because I had an awesome time at the beach. Okay. Let's go on. If you do 5 words plus the review words, let's go practice the review words really quickly. They do not follow the ES-ED pattern. It's just 2 review words that you should know from 2nd grade. So the first one is pretty. So I want you to write pretty to practice the spelling. And the next one is very. What a very big bug. So pretty and very. Let's check your spelling. So we have pretty and very. P-R-E-T-T-Y and V-E-R-Y. Okay, let's go back and keep reviewing. Everyone else, we're ready for number 6 is flies. Flies drive me crazy. So I'm going to put the base word as fly. Then I'm going to drop that Y and add ES to get flies, more than one. So fly, the spelling word is flies. Drop the Y, add I-E-S. Change the Y to an I, add E-S. Change the Y to an I, add E-S. Okay, parties. I love throwing parties. So I'm going to put the base word, and I want you to write the word parties in plural. I bet most of you love going to parties. It's fun to eat cake, play games. Okay, so I wrote the base word, party. I changed the Y to an I, and I add ES for parties. Okay, the next one that I would like you to work on is tried. Tried. I tried my hardest on the test. I tried my hardest on the test. So the base word is try. Then you change the Y to an I and add ED. So you should have written T-R-I-E-D, tried. Okay, next word, pennies. I have so many pennies at my house. Pennies. Pennies, that's a long word. So I changed, it ended in a consonant, a double one. I changed the Y to an I and I add ES. Pennies, pennies. Okay, I'm going to erase. Next one. This is number 10. So for those of you that do 10 words plus the review, this will be your last one. Fried. I love fried chicken. Okay, so I wrote the base word fry. Then I changed the Y to an I and I add ES for fries. Okay, if you do 10 words, you may stop there. Next one is carried. I carried boxes to the library. Carried. Ends in a consonant, so make sure you have 2 R's in carried. Oops, I forgot to change it. Change the Y to an I and add ED. Carried. Okay, here's the base word. Here's your spelling word. C-A-R-R-I-E-D. Okay, number 12, babies. I think babies are so cute. Babies. So I'm going to write the base word baby. Then I'm going to change the Y to an I and add ES. Change the Y to an I and add ES. Baby, babies. Okay. Next one, spied. Spied. I spied on my little sister. I don't even have a sister, but that might be fun. So I'm going to write the base word spy. Change the Y to an I and make it spied. None of these should just end with a D. You should always have an ED. Okay, so spy gets changed to spied. Change the Y to an I, add ED. Okay, last word for people that do 16 words, ponies. I love ponies. So I'm going to write the base word pony. Then I'm going to change the Y to an I and add ES. So it becomes ponies. Ponies. Okay. All right, those of you that have challenge words, I'm going to go a little quicker because I'm about out of time on my video. So your first word, and everyone else, you can stop and go do your worksheet for today. So your first word on challenge words is communities. So that's a long one. So I want you to think about the word community. And then I'm going to change the Y to an I and add ES. So communities is a super long word. C-O-M-M-U-N-I-T-I-E-S, communities. Okay, I'm going to run out of time on the video. It won't upload if I go too long. So I want you to write the other 4 on your own. Batteries, factories, countries, and libraries. Great job today.